Well, talking about dystopias, a little bit on the other side, Matt. I mean, first of all, how are y'all doing in New York City? I know it's probably been a little bit difficult, given the fact that the truckers are no longer delivering food and supplies to the city of New York, because of the attack on capitalism and freedom that we've seen since Donnie's gotten himself into a little bit of trouble.
In solidarity with Trump, yeah, of course, all the truckers were like, we can't buy rights.
Those things are always so funny to me, not because I think that like workers getting together making collective action, is a joke, but because these like random guys who have no connection to like the labor movement or to anybody, they always sort of lionize truckers. As if the truckers are basically going to go on strike for the nerdy bullshit that wealthy people in urban America who like Donald Trump care about,
right?
Which is making sure that rich people don't get in trouble for doing business fraud.
Yeah.
So obviously, New York has not been shut down, but people are very mad, obviously. About this recent ruling, none other than our boy Patrick Bet-David, who is going to valuetain us a little bit. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Matt, but this is him talking about what people in New York. So talking about you, freedom-loving people in New York, of course.
Where is PBD? Is he a Florida guy?
I think he's a Florida guy.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So let me talk to the business people in New York real quick and kind of taking a different perspective. If you're in New York and you choose to stay in New York, to keep doing business in New York, here's what you have to keep in mind. What you're telling New York politics, because Hochul came out, and I don't know if you guys saw what Hochul said. If you have the clip, Hochul came out and said, this is not something that's going to hurt the business people of New York, because the business people of New York would never do anything like this. This is more for Trump because of it. What did Trump do? Go ahead. Break it down. Tell us. Tell us what Trump did, Hochul. Go break it down for us. No. What she's telling you to the business people of New York, you know what she's telling you?
I don't want to defend Kathy Hochul. I think what she said is pretty. But I mean, look. Here's the thing. I mean, you want to get real. You want to get real. Valuetained or edu. It's hard to flip that.
I can't remember all the. Yeah.
So what's happening with Trump? So to a certain degree, there is some truth to the claim that a lot of business people do these sorts of things. Maybe inflate assets, basically fudge when they're getting loans from banks. And the thing is, it's like often banks are okay with that because they're working with big time capitalists to probably get their money anyway, right? It's probably true that, and that's why Kathy Hochul said it, I think, is like there probably are some Democrat donors that be like, hey, how strict are we getting about these things that I'm seeing Trump getting in trouble for? The thing is, though, that Patrick Bet-David can't really contend with is that actually Trump he's fucking it up because all those guys that Kathy Hochul is reassuring, they're not running for president, right? They're doing the crimes, absolutely. And like, make no mistake, Trump is a criminal. Trump has been doing business with dirty banks and mob, like this is like, if that shocks you, you're a little bit naive about the world that we live in, frankly. But yeah, I mean, like the reality, it's not that Trump is being singled out because he's, like Steven Crowder says now, an Alex Navalny character. It's that he's a capitalist that is fucking making too many waves. And you're upsetting people, and they're going to try to clip your wings if you try to do like coups, for instance. If you try to overturn election results, like people don't want that kind of heat ultimately. You make yourself a target for politics because, like again, like most people who do this sort of thing that Trump does. First of all, I don't think there's a lot of people that do it to the extent. Trump is a superlative character, I think. But to the extent that there are people that even like maybe surpass Trump in maybe capital, they're not running for fucking president. They're going in their compound and, hiring PR agents to make sure nothing gets out. But anyway, we can.
No, and not to, people who might be operating in the gray area of the law, trying to make a bunch of money, may or may not be a majority audience of Patrick Bet-David. So
I forget about that. Yeah, actually, we're talking about a bunch of scammers.
so this is a big threat. Anyway,
right.
What should you do if you're in New York? Let's hear.
And so next, how can you use AI to get old people to set up monthly payments for bullshit? I need it.
All right. Break it down for us. No, what she's telling you to the business people of New York, you know what she's telling you? She's telling you you're a little boy and you will never.
Hell yeah. I'm so value tamed. I'm like, I will admit it. Not even lying. Thank you, sir. But please, let's hear a little bit more about this. You're a little boy.
She's telling you to the business people of New York, you know what she's telling you? She's telling you you're a little boy and you will never talk politics that opposes them. And that's why you're not afraid of that. That's why they're not afraid of you. Because
I know, look, sometimes we all get tripped up, especially when you're very passionate about scammers getting in trouble for breaking the law. But it is very interesting to sort of listen and how and get like how fuck. Well, I'm messing up. So, anyways, let him go.
They see you as a little boy. As a little boy that won't say anything to mommy and daddy because God forbid, because you're a little boy who stays in New York. They don't fear you. That's what they're telling you. And Kevin
So I will say, yelling at somebody and saying, "You're a little boy who stays in New York" is something that I've probably said drunkenly at a bar to a friend before. But yeah,
I wish Kathy Hochul was saying this shit. This is the attitude we should take towards Capital Flight. We run things here, not businessmen. If you don't like it, fucking jog off to Florida. Good luck in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, wait a second.
Leary said it straight. Him and I don't have the best relationship together. We don't have a relationship, but he's 100% right. You people who stay in New York, who are business people, who are okay with this, you have one of three choices. One, it's called flight, freeze, fight. Pick and choose. You flight, come to Florida. Bad news for the people in Florida. I know you want to buy a house. Valuation.
Oh, wait, we're about to get some. What?
What flight for? What did he say?
Flight, freeze, fight.
Okay.
So the classic fight or flight. We're adding in freeze. All right, but anyways, for folks who aren't in New York, and this isn't a threat to you, very important financial advice coming up because big money shakeup coming that we're getting from the real estate expert Patrick Bet-David.
To Florida. Bad news for the people in Florida. I know you want to buy a house. Valuation just went up. Okay? It went up because they're going to, specifically for the higher market, not the low market, that's going to stay. If you have a $20 million house, it's officially a $22 million house because of this stupid decision. 10% overnight, my estimation. Again, to the whole.
All right. I need some folks to remind us in a month or two, hell, a year. We can give them plenty of time. Let's see how true this prediction about the housing market in Florida only for the high market houses goes.
I'll just say, look, I'm not an investor. Long-term investments in Florida properties
well,
I'd be up there with luxury automobiles in terms of how good of an investment this is.
But I mean, I love the analysis that you get from these guys where it's just like, hey, here's a news story I'm really mad about. This is about to make a significant change in the real estate market in Florida specifically.
Yeah.
People in New York and that judge in New York, my estimation, okay, is what I'm saying to you. You have three choices, business people in New York. You're either part of the flight community, okay, which flight community is going to go to a different place because if that place doesn't value you, come on down to Florida. Number two, you're part of the freeze community. You know what the freeze community is? The people that shut their mouth, become little boys and don't say anything because God forbid they come after you and they find out what you did. And everybody has something in their closet. You know you got something in the closet. What?
Again, knows his audience very well.
Yeah. I wouldn't
yours.
say this to our patrons. Like, you guys know you're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
maybe like
I know,
you
no,
smoke
left
weed.
reckoning patrons. I know y'all all got some skeletons in your closet. You know, yeah, very,
I know
very,
you're getting a little
very
bit
interesting
somewhere
thing
that
to-
yeah. You got a you got an angle. We've all got. We're all playing our angles. We know that.
All right, we can keep going. But tell me if
I'm
at any
value-tained.
point, at any point, if you stop being value-tained, let me know because this is a longer clip.
Bro, you know how old this guy is?
No, 32.
He's only 45.
Hell yeah.
We've got years to be value-tained from
Can't
this
wait.
guy.
Your closet may be, a certain dealing that you did. Your closet may be a business deal you were a part of. A girl, a something, a party, a cocaine.
A
Sorry.
girl. Ooh.
What?
All right, I know exactly. So it's like because earlier on, and it's like some people are gonna get mad at what you said, Matt. Which was saying that like, oh, the reason Trump's getting in trouble is because he's a politician, right? Well, isn't that exactly what PBD is saying? Well,
You can't be a criminal and a politician at the same time. I'm sorry.
yeah.
What the fuck?
But also like this whole idea that like now we're not even just talking about like, oh, you know what? There's a kind of like wink understanding in New York real estate, New York business that like you can bend the letter of the law a little bit, right? We almost immediately have moved beyond that to talking about what do you have in your closet? Maybe a girl. Some cocaine at party, right? I mean, we're in sexual assault territory here.
That's where my mind
implication.
went first. That's where my mind went first. I think maybe he means affair. I'm hoping that's what he meant. That's certainly better than any sort of other spin I could put on that. Certainly.
No, that's a good catch.
A business deal you were a part of, a girl, a something, a party, a cocaine, a past, a gambling habit. Everybody who has done business doesn't walk on water. There's something that you went through in the past when you were 18 years old, 22 years old, 17 years old. Heck, today, 12 years old. They will come back for you. They're going to find something, and they're going to come back for you. And last but not least, to the third community, if you're saying, Pat, I'm not leaving New York. You don't want to leave New York? I don't want to leave New York. No problem. Then fight. Get out there and say something like this. I cannot stand. Say it. Donald Trump, if you don't like Trump. But this is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm going to get behind this because this cannot happen. And talk to 50 other people, 100 other people.
All right. First of all, I have no idea what this advice is.
Yeah, I'm lost.
So I'm walking outside. I'm walking outside my apartment in New York right now. Maybe you could do this later, Matt. You just walk outside and you just yo, I cannot stand this. And you need to talk to 50 other people, pull them all next to you, and let's see what we do next.
And say, if you love New York and you don't fight, you're okay with people leaving because they're going to leave. The policies in New York just officially told you they hate capitalists. They hate job creators. They hate people in real estate who politically are on the opposite side. That's what just happened to New York with these policies. So guess what? If you're part of the community that you can compromise your values and principles and just stay there because you just want to make money because money is your God, more power to you, brother. I'm not like that, and not a lot of people are like that in New York either.
Yeah, no, because they're throwing all the capitalists out of New York, right? You're right.
Yeah.
Men I know in New York, the women I know in New York with a lot of pride, they're either going to fight and they're going to say this, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to a different state that's going to appreciate me creating business. This is one of the most ridiculous, pathetic things I've seen done in business, which sets a precedent. And if this stays, it's going to be applied in other places. FYI, this is not just going to be a New York thing. Watch this happen in California when somebody decides to go up against an opponent.
Hell yeah. I mean, we got more of this. I don't know if you can.
Do you know how many people, how many powerful people in American history have thought, maybe I should run for office? And then their lawyer is like, do not do that. You have liabilities.
Well,
and they didn't do it.
The fact that, old American like WASP culture was that like you don't run for office.
Exactly.
That's for poor people. What are you doing? You just buy a politician.
You can't air the laundry. You can't let them see how we're living. You can't let them see how we're moving. You can't make a fucking show of it. And we had this different period where Trump was like, oh, actually, it is all a show. And during that period, from the 80s to the 90s, whatever, Trump was floated by banks who were like, we have a celebrity front man, we can give money. I mean, in a way, he was sort of the Elon Musk of his time, right? Like the way Elon can go to banks and get that much money to kill Twitter when everyone can tell it's going to be a disaster ahead of time, it's because banks like people like that. They like having agents. And so, yeah, like that's what Trump has worked out at. And like, I mean, fine, you can act like it's really, to me, like this is just natural. This is why Howard Hughes didn't run for office. This is like, because like it'd be fucking liability to do so. You gotta pretend like, Patrick, this whole thing where it's like we all have skeletons in the closet, we all have a woman, we all have a cocaine, that you can't be talking like that, man. That it doesn't, because guess what? We're not all capitalists. We're not all business people. You're talking to a much wider audience. And look, maybe the people who are like grinding Uber and think that maybe one day they're going to be like Patrick Bet David, maybe they can kind of relate to it for a while, but ultimately people realize like, I'm not that. I'm not somebody who can just move because Kathy Hochul made a fucking statement at a political event. Like, this is not relatable at all to me. And I'm not emasculated by it either.
Yeah, because I mean, the only reason that you all care about this is because you're very much in line and swimming in the waters of needing to be attached to the Trump media machine. And any other capitalist like doesn't give a shit about that. They're happy to donate to the Democrats and the Republicans and just keep all of their cocaines in the closet and keep doing whatever. Are you value-tained?
I'm always value-tained by
all right.